All right. Good evening. Good evening. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to play our intro video. That way you get a chance to like, share, comment, and let everyone know that our podcast is starting. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
not guilty
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage.
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. Freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
The Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. We come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you're not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. And our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. Hey, let's switch the camera. I guess we were doing different stuff.
We'd be
on
the
some
other angle. You
right,
see some
right.
people
We'd
going
be on
into their meetings
everything.
and stuff.
There you go. There you go. Hey, this is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library. They always roll out the red, black, and green carpet for us. Let's get in some intros, and then we'll get to our mission statement, our guiding principles. We're going to do some May Day memories where we're commemorating the May 30th, 2020 Police Accountability Rally right there at Erie and Jackson. Let's start with some intros. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN and also an active and registered member of the Nation of Islam here in Toledo. So shout out to Muhammad's Mosque number 91. And what am I wearing today for those who are just listening in? Today I've got on kind of like a cloth jacket. I've got a V-neck t-shirt. Man, I don't have a hat on. Let me get right. I got a V-neck on. I've got my tiger eye. They got the words and stuff over my gear. I don't know how they do that all the time. I got my glasses on, my beads, and as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter, justice or else. This is live, so we don't get a chance to edit things out and then give you a pristine example or version of our podcast. So most likely we're going to have some other technical difficulties like the wrong camera and things like that. But that's who I am. Let's go ahead and throw it to Jody. Introduce yourself. What are you wearing so that those that are driving, and you shouldn't be looking at your phone when you're driving, they get a chance to get a visual of what he looks like and what he's wearing. And then we'll get right into our mission statement. So it's on you.
What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth, the treasure of this wonderful organization, and as the awesome and great guy, Brother Washington, said, we are live, raw, uncut, unedited, and unsponsored. So anything that you do see is actually happening right here in studio. We ain't got no bells or whistles, although we did try that one time.
We did.
We've evolved into some scrollers, some ads and stuff, and all you see is community-based.
That's right.
Nobody is paying us. When you see our commercials, that's because of our love for our community. You ain't got to come here and be like, hey, only this much, but we are working stuff if you want to, but we are still community based. So that's why we share the commercials we do, the connections we have in the community and everything like that. So for those of you out there listening, whether you're going to pick up the kids from a game or trying to avoid this storm that we're supposedly going to have here in Lucas County, I am a big brown bear of a man that is covered in tattoos, crystals, stones, and bones, and the reality of manifesting the life I wanted to live.
That's right.
Meeting people, learning from my failures and mistakes and woes, and turning that into beautiful art. I always said it has been nearly a decade in my mantras that came out in book 2. And this is the life I live. The shirt that I'm wearing is something, the double-breasted that you always see. It's crystal stones and bones. Under that is the Arts Commission from this year's The Mix, which we'll talk about later, because this is going to kind of be a more relaxed show where we can talk to y'all and communicate without having some impending doom or thing that we're trying to promote. I think some shows get so involved in the promotion of things they forget, like, hey, Brother Washington does.
We forget about us, right? We forget about.
I do stuff, and it's okay to have a pause for a moment too. Everything doesn't got to be, I got to go get the best views, diss the best person. Anyway, we're gonna talk in a moment. And as you always see me down here on my phone, because again, we are nonprofit and stuff, and I'd rather push some buttons for a few minutes than have somebody say, "Oh, you didn't pay your bill, so you just lost 1,000 followers."
That's right.
We ain't into all that, but we have a mission statement. We have guiding principles that's kept us nearly going a decade in November.
That's right.
So I'm going to recite that to you in my lovely chocolatey, awesome voices people have told me about. And this is us. We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, Formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, the Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, provoked, attacked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, yes, most often, police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership, yes, local leadership, accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter. Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
All right, that's our mission statement, and we've been standing on that for 10 years since the inception of CSRN, and a big shout out to Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bay. You know, they had this idea that just anybody could speak truth to power. They didn't have to be a pastor, politician, preacher, or professional. And, you know, we're none of that. We're none of that. And I believe that we really made and we continue to make a positive impact on our community. But you really do have to have a guiding principle. You got to have some goals and objectives. And these are our guiding principles.
The hill you're willing to die on.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Or live on. All right. The others, they could die on it. All right. All right. Come at us if you want. All right. All right. All Black lives matter. Queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, wealthy Black lives, differently able Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
And that means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe.
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work, embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe.
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe.
Ashe.
Principal struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe.
Ashe.
Love, self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe.
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe.
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe.
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe.
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
Jody, before we take a break, we said earlier that we're coming up on the 4th year anniversary of May Day. That
Yeah.
was May 30th, 2020. I like to call it Tear Gas Saturday. And that was the Toledo Police Accountability Rally. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And
The day where they got to truly show all of their asses to the world and attack people with rubber, wooden, it didn't matter because it left chunks out of people's skin, bullets who showed up with signs and flip-flops and wanting to know why.
Yeah, and also, right, but and also everyone that showed up.
Oh, we still got the side camera.
Yeah. Everyone that showed up, a lot of us knew the risk going in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we knew the risk going in of what some of the potential things that could happen because you're standing up for justice. Some of the potential things that could happen because we're not having this in a parking lot,
Yeah.
all right, in a shopping center. We're not having this in a community center or church. We have it right there at Erie and Jackson, right in front of the police station. Right in front of the police
some
station.
suburbs running down the street to people who, you know,
Right.
We bring the drama to them.
Right. And I just want to talk about what led up to it, and then we'll take a short break. We're going to come back. We've got a dynamite author here today. His name is Yasin Muhammad. Well, he's going to introduce himself and talk about the book, maybe talk about some of the characters and what inspired him, you know, to do that. But I just wanted to lift one memory. It was during the George Floyd and what was happening then. And there was a lot of people around the country and really world that was mobilizing.
Mm-hmm.
And we had yet to mobilize yet.
Remember
and
Kenosha.
And something hit us. And we started talking about where to do it, what time, and everything just clicked.
Yep.
Everything just clicked. And there was more people involved in it than just CSRN. We had so many people that were assisting us to make sure that things happen the right way. Yeah, food, not bombs.
Rescue organizers. It was
all of the mutual aid organizations that were there, that were there for first aid, and some of the people that were there to push it a bit further. Even though we said, "Hey, look, we're shutting it down," but our part was finished. There was others that took up their part, but I regret nothing.
Not one bit.
All right.
I came back with baking soda bottles, and water strapped to my waist.
Yeah, it's all good. You know, we did what it took to get activists to be taken serious in Toledo, and word out for May Day. There's a lot of other stuff that
might not be happening.
So that's my take on May Day. Before we go to commercial, then come back with Yasin Muhammad. He's got some posters here too, man. Yeah. I shouldn't be doing it, but I'm just checking out some of the artwork. Y'all will see it. I'm not going to just show it like that, but y'all will see it. But that's a dynamite brother. So much talent in Toledo. You have no idea. Before we go to commercial, do you have a quick take on one of your May Day memories of coming up? And we'll be having an anniversary all month.
It was probably one of the first times a lot of people in Toledo had heard Silent Face in the crowd outside of a poetry event or protest or anything like that. And it was, I still have people to this day that are shocked because that is my performance or what I give the audience in my natural state. I sound more like this. I'm not as loud or outspoken or won't vibrate through you if I don't need to, because I like my privacy. But for that, it was one of those things where I was very proud, especially some people in the audience who had supposed to have been there for forever. And it was just like, that was you. Like, yeah, that was me. Like all the time when people see me, but okay. Thank you for the bookings and all the stuff. And yeah, for looking out into the crowd of thousands of people and then having to come back at the end of the night and see it scattered and stuff. That moment was powerful.
And can I put up our iconic picture?
Definitely.
Our
'Cause
iconic
that's got some
picture.
special things happening to it right
Yeah,
now.
that was one of the most iconic pictures from May 30th, 2020 that was ever taken. There was a couple of people that got the same shot. Cheryl Williams was one of those. I think we've got her picture here. There's another picture that we're going to show later on.
We got a whole documentary of the speech in itself and flash shots. I know I still have them in my Google Drive.
I don't have nothing. I just have to
them
depend
with
on you. All right. Hey, look, that's my May 30th memory, May Day 2020, or Tear Gas Saturday, as I like to call it. And we still got some more in the tank just in case we need to do another one. But I think
that's from last week,
right. I think that we made our point. And in honor of National Mental Health Awareness Month, we're going to play our commercial for Yasin Wellness. Not only is it an awesome commercial, I happen to work there too. So hopefully my boss will see it so I could increase my probabilities of getting a raise. Hey, let's take a break. We'll come back. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review.
Did you know addiction is a disease, not a moral dilemma? The opioid epidemic and substance use have a major impact on communities of color and many people's lives. Yasin Wellness Recovery Support Center offers culturally relevant, inpatient and outpatient behavioral health treatment and recovery support services to any Ohioan struggling with addiction, mental health, or finding sober, safe housing. We must recognize that treatment is available and accessible to all. If you are in need of treatment or want to find out more information, you can call 1-888-728-2713 to talk to someone or schedule an appointment.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call digital edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
All right, we are back. Not 30 seconds left. That's more like 3 seconds. We're back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from my branch library. So shout out to Holly, who is the director, and shout out to all of the staff here at my branch library for just making sure that we have our podcast room available every week. And as always, in CSRN tradition, we always ask our guests who they are, what are they wearing, and what are we talking about today? So, who are you? What are you wearing?
You know who I am.
All right, and what are we talking about today?
Okay, well, for those that don't know me, I'm Yasin Muhammad. I am an upcoming author of the upcoming book Fable 5. And what I am wearing is the cosplay of one of my characters known as Bonfire. If you go on my page, Yasin J. Muhammad on Facebook, you'll be able to see the character in all of its fiery glory. And you'll see that I am wearing a leather jacket that's blue with black stripes and a black shirt with the insignia on it and black and yellow pants.
Okay.
Blue boots.
All right. So, well, we can't see the boots.
We can't see the boots. We can't see the boots, but I did it for you guys.
All right. So one of the things that I wanted to ask is, what inspired you to become an author?
Well, it kind of all started mostly sort of back in 8th grade. I think that's when I first started writing, but it really didn't hit home until I was in high school. And I just really had this idea. I always wanted to sort of write a story, but I didn't know what to write about. And that's when I created my first character, Red Eye Dan. So the inspiration came from Fantastic Four. I love Fantastic Four. I think they went on like the most craziest adventures, and it was just like a Tuesday for them. So I always wanted to write a story where the characters are just going on these crazy adventures or in this crazy situation. It's just like, that's just what we are. That's just what we do.
Hey, and also maybe through the interview, we'll put up the website.
Of course.
Maybe through the interview, can we play the clip also of the your trailer too?
Oh man, that trailer! No one. There was so much that went into going to that trailer. It's not even funny.
All right. What genre would you say that you write in? Is this mystery? Is it romance?
Okay. No. The genre, the main genre is superhero sci-fi.
Okay.
So it's about superheroes. But in a sci-fi setting, apocalyptic sci-fi setting, if you would.
Man, apocalyptic. So this is like
end of the world. Basically, end of the world. Everything is as bad as it could possibly get. So now that these 5 heroes are on the scene, things are going to change and make a difference.
Okay, what I'm going to do right now, let's put up your website.
Of course.
Let's show it right here. So we got the website, which is Fable 5.
Yes,
all right.
Yes, sir.
And are we going to look at the heroes first? Do we do the heroes first? Do we do the villains?
Go to the heroes. Go to the heroes.
All right, let's see. All right. So the first one.
That is Red Eye Dan.
All right.
That's Red Eye Dan. That's the leader of the group.
Okay, all right.
That is the leader of the group. He's the main character of the story, and you follow the character as he goes through a lot of hardships. But in all the hardships, he does have, his crew, Fable 5. The character I am is Bonfire, and Bonfire is a motivator for Red Eye Dan to be a better leader.
All right, can we scroll it down too?
Keep scrolling.
All right.
That's me. That's who I am.
Now, today, it looks like you have on some similar.
Of course.
Okay. All right.
Yes. So that's Bonfire. He's a character that came from space. That's all I can tell you, because if I say any more, it's a spoiler.
That'd be a spoiler. All right. So we're not going to do any spoilers, but we really want everybody to really go to the website.
Yeah.
If you type in Yasin J Muhammad.wixsite.com, look, once you do that, bookmark it. You'll never have to type in all those letters again.
And you can find it on my Facebook page
too,
Yasin J Muhammad.
All right, that's right. So
you don't gotta type it all in. Just a simple click on that website.
Now, I saw one Bonfire earlier.
Yes.
Every time we have a guest, we will scour your page. We look at some of the stuff that you've done in the past.
Oh my God!
But we found out that it was more than one Bonfire.
Okay.
Explain this, because it looks like the same one, but it's different.
Bonfire is basically my love letter to Dragon Ball Z. So Bonfire he has 3 forms, and they're called Ashura forms.
Okay, all right.
So his first form is Ashura 1. That's where his form goes into this cool yellow glowy form. And this form makes him at least 10 times stronger than he was before when he wasn't in a form.
All right. Now, that I never seen that word Ashura before.
Yes, it's a word. It's a Arabic word, and Ashura is the if you ever know a Muslim and they do Ramadan. Ramadan is broken up into 3 parts called Ashuras.
Okay, look at that. All right.
So his 3 forms are called Ashuras.
All right, so he's got
this blue form. This blue form is is my favorite drawing out of all the Ashuras, but the blue Ashura's form is also 10 times stronger than the previous Ashura form. So he's able to fly faster. He has gravity and sun power, so he can create miniature suns about the size of from a baseball to a building. That's as much as it can go for the meantime.
All right. Well, I'm going to keep it on.
Keep going.
Ashura 2, and I wanted to follow up with another question.
Of course.
What message do you aim to get through from this book?
Well, although the book is mostly surrounding Red Eye Dan, the character of Bonfire is also an important part to the book, and especially since the book is aimed for young adults and maybe teenagers, it's more so of a coming of age story, trying seek out your own individuality.
Okay. All
Because
right.
as the story goes on, you see that the characters are torn between trying to figure out who they are while they're trying to save the world. And you may not have enough time to figure out who you are while you're in the middle of trying to do the right thing.
All right, true that. Hey, listen, now they just scrolled up to the Ashra 3.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between
Ashura? There's a giant difference between Ashura 3 and Ashura 2. Ashura 3 is the all-out form. It's there's no elegance to it. It's not pretty. There's almost no reason that goes into it. This is the I'm mad and this got to get taken care of form. Out of control white form. If you look closely at it, the hair almost reminds you of a bull.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
The design, a lot of the Ashura 1 was designed after an octopus hair. Ashura 2 was designed after a stag beetle, which has pincers, which is like the strength. But Ashura 3 is the all-out seeing red kind of form.
Okay.
If you see Ashura 3, run.
All right. So I'm gonna leave this up here, and I've got another question for you.
Please.
Man, what do you think is the most challenging part of being an author in writing?
Really, the most challenging part about it was making sure that you understand who you're writing for.
Okay.
Because if I'm just writing just to gratify myself, a lot of things are going to be falling on deaf ears. And when things like that happen, you get a lot tone deaf movies. They start pandering. I don't want to pander to you. I want you to see this world I created, and I want you to be a part of it. I don't want to alienate anybody. So to make sure this book is all around, everybody can read it. Everybody can find themselves in this book. Hero, villain, or even some regular civilian characters that I do have. It ain't all about the superheroes. You don't need a cape to be a hero.
All right. Now you've got one that looks like a I don't want to say a Grim Reaper.
No, he is a Reaper in training.
Okay. I didn't know they had him in training.
Yeah.
I thought they just come out of high school straight to the pros. All right.
No, in this story, the main villains are actually Grim Reapers. 2 Grim Reapers, in fact. Grim Reaper Soul and Grim Reaper Spirit. And they use their powers to try to dominate the world. And those 2 characters are warring together. But this Reaper character is a Reaper that wants to make a difference and not be so passive like every other Reaper. He's an active person that aligns himself with the Fable 5 to get the real world and spirit world back under control.
Now, I want to go. I'm glad you mentioned that title, Fable 5.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that title, and what does it mean?
Fabled 5 means like legendary. It means like mythological. This grand story. It's a grand story. Something that's not like a legend. It may be real. It may not be real, but it's something you want to believe in. Sort of like how people may not believe in the characters that are trying to save the world, but they need to make a believer out of the people.
All right. I think that we went over a lot of male characters.
Yes.
All right.
There's a lot of male characters.
Right. Now, but the one here, ROX.
Rockstar.
All right. Who is she? And what makes her stand out?
Rockstar is a character that is very, very herself. She's a hyperactive character that is impulsive. She's flawed, she likes, fame, and she likes fame and a lot of this stuff. But it's all like a big show. She has to overcome, what she wants people to perceive her as, and she needs to find out who she really is as a person. And she has sound powers. So she can run on sound waves, blast sound. She has a cool guitar that's also an axe. Okay. I just thought that was really cool. And Rockstar is this really funny character. Once you read the book, you're gonna realize how funny this character is. and she's just a really good bundle of energy that you're just going to enjoy.
All right, now, does she have more than one form, or is she?
I can't tell you that because that would be a spoiler.
Okay, all right. Now, before is it okay? I'm almost ready to premiere the trailer.
Of course.
But not only the website, they can also go right to your Facebook page.
Of course.
All right. So I think that you got a zillion followers. We didn't want to put all your followers out there.
I just started. I know where I'm at.
Okay. All right. So not only you can log on at Yasin J Muhammad .wix. I think it's
Wix site.
All right, and bookmark it, or you can just go to his Facebook page
and just click on it. I don't want y'all doing any more work than y'all have to.
Okay,
we all got jobs. I ain't gonna give y'all no homework.
Okay, all right, man. Before we get to the trailer, what can the readers expect from your future work?
On my Facebook page, you're going to see a lot more art posted. I want to shout out my author, Bakir Muhammad. He's the one that made all these characters. I may be like a little sketch artist. Maybe I can post some my art that I also do. But Bakir is a legend. He is a very professional. He is just great at what he does. The art that you see in the trailer is him. That is him to the umpteenth degree. You can find him on Instagram. You can find him on Facebook. His name is Bakir.
Okay, we just put his name up.
Bakir Muhammad. Okay. This man is no joke.
And also, he talked about the bonfire drip that you had earlier.
Absolutely. So yeah, the outfit was made. I'm not a sewer. I'm not a seamstress. But this outfit was bought and concocted together to look as accurate to the character as it can be.
Now I'm just
we're on our final character.
Yeah, and I think that let's scroll back. That is someone called
Strongest Man.
It seemed like you swung for the fence for that name.
No, I didn't.
All right, you didn't leave nothing out. So, who is Curtis Brute? And how does he fit into all of this? Curtis
is the father figure. What I really wanted in this book is that I wanted a father figure. So the characters because in every superhero movie, and you will see the main character's parents die.
Okay.
Uncle, aunt, whatever, both or one, usually both, they're all dead. You can't have a good superhero story. We can't have nice things. We can't have a superhero story without dead parents.
True. That's
so.
True. Get them out of here.
Get them out of here.
That's right.
But in place of all these dead parents, and I love you, parents. Parents, you do a wonderful job raising your children.
Okay.
So I really wanted Strongest Man not to be strong because he can punch through the sky and crack it like an egg or glass, which he can do. But Strongest Man is a character that is a very moral, grounded character. He is not the one that panics. He tries to make sure everyone is safe. His main objective is not to save the world. His objective is to make sure all these 4 kids are safe as they navigate their lives being superheroes.
All right.
Red Eye Dan may be the leader, but Curtis Brute, Strongest Man, is the father of the group.
Now, what was it that inspired you to come up with
all these characters?
All the characters.
Well, in a funny way, first things first. Originally, Curtis was not going to be in the story. That is a fun fact. But I needed the audience to see somebody that can get these characters under control. Without Curtis Brute, these characters are out of control. They're impulsive, hot-tempered. If you ever worked with a teenager, they're very fickle. They change their minds. They change how they feel. But Curtis is a static character that helps the characters become better than what they are and build them into who they need to be.
Or I'm just getting the signal that they're ready for the for the trailer. But before the trailer, you got some art here.
Absolutely. As you see, I am the character Bonfire, but if you don't see my post, this is what the character looks like.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, they can see it.
Yes, this is also made by Bakir Muhammad. So all the art that you will see, this is Bakir. Bakir, if you are listening, man, you are awesome. You are awesome. He spent several nights just drawing for me, just to make sure everything is down to the tiniest detail.
All right. So, hey, listen, we're going to play the trailer. Then after the trailer, we want to ask you if there's anything else that you need to share.
Absolutely.
And we're going to take a break. We're going to come back with Jody. We're going to top some loose ends and wrap it up with 5 minutes of heat. This is the premiere of the Fable 5 trailer or CSRN.
You should have known I was coming. Yeah, you should have known I was coming.
Here goes nothing.
Should know I was coming, right on the diamond. Body the truth, while they feeding you lies. Born in the mud, raised in the jungle. Blessed by God, don't mean I ain't struggle. Start from the bottom with nowhere to run to. Make a wrong turn, and niggas are getting you. My niggas in streets, but watch from a distance. I'ma call me a bad, me running them digits. I'm in for the attention, too much to lose. My heart getting cold, but still I won't shoot. The trigger ain't jamming, just smarter than you. Like about them battles, you picking, you choose. Your mind in the box, so just stick it and move. You surrounded by wolves, they as hungry as you. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You live for the coaches and living for you. My head on the swivel, head of my time, bitch. Show me the money and giving you mine. Good for the time, but look at the time. Close to a year, you notice my shine. I work my game, the pleasure is mine. I live for the pain, the numbness inside. Swallow my pill, the hardest to try. I don't need drugs, I thought to my mind. Feeling my blow, whole fame is a sign. Cause if I'm a blow, leave brains on the side. Less of the dime, switching the grind. Live for the change, but picking both sides. You're all in the bind, they know where to find. You talk to the rain, in darkness I shine. In darkness I shine. You should've known I was coming. Yeah, you should've known I was coming. You should've known I was coming. Hand on a dozen. We spin the block when we buzzing. Aim for the top, yeah, we chubbing. You should've known it was coming. That's long shit.
All right, that is the premiere of the Fable 5. All right, we can snap our fingers and clap our hands to that. That is, man. Now, you gave a shout out to Muhammad Bakir. Who was it that put that trailer together?
That is Yash. It sounds like my name, Yasin, but we are not related.
All right.
Yash Sharma. He is my guy he is my editor. He is my trailer maker. He is the man that is going to help me publish the book. He wears a lot of hats, and he is fantastic. Without him, this trailer would not have been made.
All right,
I would have to do this myself, and this would have been a clunky mess if I ever did anything like this.
All right,
and the man rapping name is Amasa Lorne.
Okay.
Amasa. Amasa Lorne. Amasa Lorne. He is fantastic. The song that you hear is one of his songs called "You Should Have Known It Was Coming."
Okay, all right, that's what's up. Hey, listen, before we go, do you have a favorite book, and who influences your writing?
My favorite book of all time is from an author named Darren Shan. His 2-book series that really stuck with me was the book Demonata and Cirque du Freak. Those two, they're I don't know if they're underrated or overrated, but one of them has a movie, Cirque du Freak. It has there is a movie called Cirque du Freak based off the book, and that's one of my favorite books. And the author that really inspires me to write, well, of course, Stan Lee. I don't know if we'll say he's an author. I think he's an author. Stan Lee, and I guess I could say Tite Kubo. He's the man that made the anime Bleach.
Okay,
he made the anime Bleach. So Tite Kubo and Stan Lee for Fantastic Four and Bleach.
All right, before we get out of here, do you have a deadline for when the Fable 5 book is going to be out?
Me and my crew are trying to get it out before the end of 2024. We're trying to get it before the end of 2024. So it's either the start of 2025 or the end of 2024. My guess is going to be sooner, but don't quote me on that. But
okay,
mostly before the end of 2024, we can get this book out and we can get this ball rolling. So it's gonna come soon. In the meantime, expect a lot more artwork to be shown. Expect a lot more of me in costume, maybe doing a lot of other stuff with other people or meeting other people in costume. Just expect a lot of cool stuff.
So we got a big summer coming up with Juneteenth, so we can expect to see you at some of the pop-up shops and some of the community events. Some you might be in costume, and also some you may have some of the other characters to join you in costume.
I already have another costume made. If you remember the character that was the Grim Reaper, that costume is fully made. Maybe one day we can get that. The person that cosplays as him, we can get him in here one day to talk about his experience with working with me. And as we speak, we are working to design Rockstar. Rockstar is a character that was actually the first character that was created before the Fable 5 series was even made. So Rockstar is a very, very special character to me. So when you see the debut of this character in live action, it's going to be awesome.
All right. Hey, listen, can we look forward to you maybe coming back and just giving us an update when the book is 2 months away,
Absolutely.
1 month away, and
Absolutely.
maybe this will be the place where we will announce that it's here. All right.
I wouldn't love anything more than that.
All right. Hey, family, we'll be right back with Jody Summers. We're going to tie up some loose ends, 5 minutes of heat. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
Canal. En esta hermosísima ciudad de Orlando.
I'm here in Barranquilla, Colombia, and in sunny Miami. Daytona Beach, mis amigos, that's where we're at today.
Desde la ciudad de Cartagena, Colombia.
We are in Orlando right now, here in Florida.
I'm Helene Sheets, Director of Marketing and Communications at beautiful Lourdes University, and we've been a proud sponsor and supporter of Voces Latinas TV for over a decade. It has been a fantastic partnership. It's been our doorway into the Latino community. We've met so many incredible people, created so many partnerships. Our students absolutely love the connections we've made through Voces Latinas TV, and we're looking forward to at least another decade, 2 decades.
If you can ride a bike without falling, then you're good to go. Bike Rides Matter, it's a community bike group. We get together for fun, fitness, and fellowship. We ride weekly. Right now we got a Tuesday ride where we ride on the UT Trail. We do Saturday right here at Uptown Green. That's our glow roll Saturday night. was something I was already doing with my daughter, just riding bikes, and we just decided it would be cool to add the community because we were just finding ways to make fun given the situation. Being that everything was closed down and options were limited, bike riding is one of those things you can do without any restrictions.
You get to make new friends and just like interact with people, especially during COVID. You still like have your mask on and stuff, but it's still good to like see people.
It's a cool way to stay fit. We talk while we riding, we got music while we riding. I've met quite a few new friends and new people. I made some real cool connections throughout the city. Take advantage of the time you have. Take advantage of this pandemic. I know it's a lot of restrictions, but you can be creative and find new ways to have fun, one of which is this right here.
That's right. We are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. A big shout out to Yasin J. Muhammad and the Fable 5 book that's on the way. Shout out to everyone that helped in the drawing and illustration and also helped with creating that trailer. Maybe we'll be able to use that as one of our bumpers to get us from one part to the next. Hey, listen, let's transition to some of the things that's going on in the community, some of the things, Jody, that you think that we need to know about, or some of the things that you were participating in for the last couple of weeks. What do you got on your schedule, and what are some of the things that you think we need to know?
Righty. So taking you guys back from last Tuesday, the first thing I was involved in was the Poetry and Soul Sessions, which me and Kay Renee host every, I believe that next one's coming up is going to have a specific date meaning something. So be on the lookout for that from her as I crossport and share. But this one, we had Daniel North, aka Miss Irene, as our feature, which we are kind of condensing more over the last year or so. We've tried to have like 2 or 3 features and stuff. But since we're really wanting to push more of the open mic and everybody gets a chance within those couple of hours, we're going to start limiting our features since we already do have a band and all the other stuff. And that way people feel more comfortable getting their words out. So always evolving, always growing. Shout out to the Entrepreneurs Club and Kay Renee and everybody involved in Poetry and Soul, all of the audience that comes out and shares your words with us, whether you're the feature or not. It is a wonderful experience. It's made my life definitely so full. From there, we had a whole bunch of events going around the city.
Yeah.
We're going to go to Friday. There was the artist reception for Dirty Kicks. If you guys don't know him, his name's James Dickerson. He's a Liberian. He's an awesome guy. And he goes around and takes black and white photos on real cameras with real film and all this stuff. And he had his art gallery exhibit opening, which means you could still go there right now. I'm not sure of the closing date of it, but anytime you're up at the art museum, which was funny because a whole bunch of librarians came to support. And that was so beautiful, seeing different branch managers and employees that had the day or took the day off to come and support. There's some photos on my page. There's a lot on Toledo.com, probably the art museum. The archway was awesome, and getting to see everybody was great. That day was also the day of the Mix, which is the, I guess, inaugural fundraiser for the Arts Commission and how they're able to give out grants and fundraise and bring different events to the city, which is awesome. This year we had it at Toll House, which I'm a frequent member of since I'm there at Lucille's all the time, but it was the first time for a lot of people to come in and see the space and everything. Shout out to the Arts Commission, the decorating team, and to kind of transforming that. Shout out to why do I want to I'm getting tucked out on the name the owner, Lucas.
Will Lucas.
All right. Shout out to Will Lucas for having that space. It is a beautiful space. I encourage anybody, if you're in the area of networking or marketing or entrepreneurship, go get yourself a membership to them and to the Entrepreneur Club if you live on the East Side. They are great places that's in our community that's trying to help things grow. Again, the mix was awesome. I love being there, experiencing a lot of stuff. Because, you know, sometimes as artists, there's one quote that I heard maybe a couple of weeks ago. I love collaborating with people. I really do. But my audience is not you. I'm not in competition with another artist or something like that. And trying to promote to other artists is kind of disconcerting. It tells me something about another artist who has more time to worry about what I'm doing than themselves.
Okay.
So my job is to get the Brother Washingtons.
All right. That's right.
The librarians, people who are going to appreciate my craft and is not working as hard as me, trying to build their own brand. That's selfish. I support when I can, but I'm not doing it just so you can come back and reciprocate. Anyway,
that's what's up.
Mix was awesome. Love seeing everybody. Moving on, there was also the Subsonic Frequencies Live in Cincinnati. I get invited to a lot of poetry shows, so I'm just reading kind of down my list of events that might have happened. Saturday, the 4th, which so busy. It was so awesome. I actually missed it, Brother Washington, he might have some more insight on the Creative City Fur Festival, Fur Angels Rescue. I'm probably mashing that all together, but
it's all good.
At the Davis Building, I got to meet Shannon Ellis Art, and I saw the front of the room. Sorry I couldn't make it, everybody, that day in particular. I did get to go to the pre-grand opening. Shout out to Montrese and Yayo, and the opening of her hair, nail, all salon thing and metaphysical kind of shop that's there on the north end on the Grange.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It is open now, so you can go there and shop with them. I'm not sure the hours, but I'm pretty sure one of them has it on there. So I picked up a whole bunch of amethyst. You can see that on my page.
I'm going to check that out.
For necklace. Yeah, it's a good person. I've been there with both of them for over the years, so it's happy to see them have a shop there. Especially
and that's on LaGrange. Okay, LaGrange is big.
LaGrange is big.
It
so
goes from
a little bit before Central, right where that big church is. Normally, where the the Polish Festival ended, at that church on the corner across from that corner store.
Okay,
I cannot think of the exact streets, but it's like a block, 2 blocks before you get to Central LaGrange.
All right,
on your right hand side.
I'm going to check that out.
And she's got a big vinyl up. I'm not sure if Kennedy Monroe might have done that, but shout out to her anyway. Shout out to B Wills and some people that I know that are very aggressive with their brand and marketing and staying on message and everything like that. I don't get to shout out a whole bunch of people and everything, but also May 4th, there was the Lifeline Community Dinner. Again, I fortunately missed that. Trying to do too much stuff. I also work because can't take every single day off and still have a good kitchen work ethic society. So, you know, some things I missed. Shout out to all the artists. Speaking of that, the picture we were talking about, May Day, which brings us back to the subject.
That's correct.
It was entered in their jury competition, and shout out to Barbie Huffman. She got 3rd place. And again, the beauty of this picture is, you know, I'm in there somewhere.
That's
you
right.
Just kind of have to find me, but the people highlighted are the people that need to be highlighted, especially even the person in the background that was the photographer, or not the photographer, but his cell phone.
Yeah.
I have no idea who that guy was.
Yeah. And maybe that's something that we can do for the month that we're celebrating May 30th, is to identify that guy, you know, because he was behind us. So if something was going to jump off, hey, you included too. All right.
Yeah.
And Jody is the one with the you had the scarf on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There's myself with the "You're Not Black, You Ain't Black" Joe Biden shirt. I still got that. You got Ruth Leonard. She was on the mic. You got Julian Mack with the black lifeguard shirt. Keith Jones was selling those shirts a few years ago, and I made sure I got one of those. And Barbie, beautiful pick. And we're not going to be able to buy it yet.
But we will.
We're going to get this
add
picture.
that to the 10-year tour of things and stuff like that.
That's right.
There's also some big news. I'm not sure if she's announced it yet, so I'm not going to say it on the show, but that is also in association with that picture and the Toledo Museum of Art.
Right. And here is one of the original pictures of that day. There was a couple of photographers that were in this similar Williams. So shout out to Cheryl Williams for taking the iconic picture. All right.
So bringing us forward, that was all the past events that was going on. Hopefully you made it out. Hopefully you enjoyed your weekend and stuff. Upcoming for the rest of the week until you guys see us again is a few things connected to art again. Of course, tomorrow, I saw Sin as well at the mix. It was great seeing everybody. A lot of artists I hadn't seen in at least a year or so, because again, we'll be out doing our own things, trying to survive and stuff. So this Wednesday again is the open mic at Lucille's. It's a 2-drink minimum. So if you go there, it's no cover.
Come on now. Yeah.
But you can, if you don't drink alcohol, again, they express immensely that you can have a water, you can have a juice, you can have a pop. You don't have to drink alcohol.
You got to buy something.
But you just have to buy something. It's appreciation for them keeping the lights on and all that good stuff. There is the spring reading with my one guy, I can never pronounce his name, but it's a friend of mine at Brew Coffee Bar that's coming up. I want to say Shing, but I know he's a professor or teacher. He just released a book, and he's got a spring reading coming up at Brew Coffee Bar, and I believe that's here in Toledo.
Okay.
The night market is going to be at the Toledo Botanical Gardens this Friday at 4 p.m. So if you want to go out to the night market, I'm pretty sure I know some vendor friends that will be out there. Also this Friday, where you'll probably find me, is Tell Your Untold Stories, Take 3, 719 Phillips, our friend, Respect Your Crown, and Raw. So that is happening this Saturday is Mother's Day brunch at the VF Post, Commodore Perry, Uncloistered Live Poetry. Shout out to Joni and the Peacock for hosting the Uncloistered series is this Saturday at 4. That is a free thing. And then also coming up next Friday, which they announced it again. I hope everybody got a chance to see it. There is a feature film open casting call. I repeat that. A feature film open casting call that needs a lot of stand-in extras. This isn't where you're going to make your break or anything like that, but it will get you some movie credits. It will get you paid. It will get you at least your foot in the door of being a professional actor if you would like to. Hollywood Casino. Oh, he's got it on the page.
Yeah.
He's beat me to the punch.
That's right. That's right.
I just explained it.
That's all good.
Shout out to Film Toledo and Toledo's Talent, I believe it is, for passing this information down along. The film mixer was great. Good seeing everybody. We'll be seeing you on the 17th. That also is, I guess, my public announcement to let everybody know that the shooting is going to be done in June. So my obligations are going to be the film. If I find out my schedule and I can make anything during the month, those 2 weeks in June, I will, but I make no promises because this is something I've always wanted to do in life. And this will be my 8th film. Maybe I might make the Superman, but I'm not too invested in that.
All right.
So, and then I think that is all of my updates for things coming up.
All right. And this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper, the headline is Taking the Stand, and a big shout out to all of the students at all of the colleges and universities that are getting their movement work in by making sure that everybody's day isn't going to just be, it's not going to have a normal day. All right. Our brothers and sisters in Gaza, they don't have normal days. And, so we're going to have the regular flow of life being interrupted. So shout out to all of the students that on each and on the university campuses, all of the encampments, and a big shout out to the American Muslims for Palestine. This week they were on the corners of, I think that was on Sylvania and Talmadge, and every week at 3 o'clock, I think 3 or 3:30, they're gonna at 3 o'clock from 3 o'clock to 4:30. They're going to be at the corners of Sylvania and Talmadge. So if you want to get active in the community, if you want to make a difference now, the same energy that was happening during George Floyd is happening right now.
Yep.
So get active. If you weren't active for George Floyd and Trayvon Martin when that hit a crescendo, what's happening in Gaza right now, here's your opportunity to be about something when that thing is happening. So make sure you pick up this issue of the Final Call newspaper. You can stop by Muhammad's Mosque number 91. You can stop by Wednesday or Friday at 7:30 p.m. and pick one up, or visit us on each Sunday at 11 a.m. You can stop in and also hear one of the messages. It's not Black History Month, but you can still visit the Nation of Islam Mosque on Sundays. Nope, we're not going to sign you up. We don't have a suit waiting for you, Jody, and a bow tie. Nope, we're not going to shave your head, but it's great information that anybody, regardless of their walk in life, will be able to, grab some truth from that. And lastly, I do want to shout out our sister Aviance Hall, who has the Northwest Ohio Parents of Murdered Children. We got her phone number up there, her Gmail. Contact her, find out when they have some things happening in the community. This is something that we definitely need in all of the services that the Northwest Ohio Parents of Murdered Children have to offer. And you mentioned the business on LaGrange, and a big shout out to Toledo's Top Talent and House of Chaos that's at the corner.
Yes.
Yeah, they're right down the street.
Mm-hmm.
You're right down the street. I wish I knew that intersection, but they're right near LaGrange and Central. If you make a right on LaGrange, right after there's a block, you'll see them on the other side of the street. They've got a podcast studio there, and they're doing some wonderful things. So shout out to that family for making it happen.
Yep.
And lastly, we're going to pay some bills before we wrap it up with 5 minutes of heat. If you like what we do, like, share, subscribe to our YouTube site. We're trying to get up to 100,000 subscribers. So lock it in, go to our YouTube, subscribe, like, hit the notification so that you'll know. Pick up your Black Lives Matter sign, pick up your defund the police sign. We're going to put a few more up in the community. We've got some at the, sorry about that. We got some at the corners of Central and Detroit, Bancroft, Upton, Door, Detroit, Collingwood, and Door. We're going to get a few more up too. Sometime they come down, we'll put them right back. All right. So, hey, y'all going to see them again. And if you really want to support what we do, you can support via Cash App or PayPal. That's CSRN 419 or hashtag CSRN 419. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Listen to us on Spotify. Follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube. Last month was National Poetry Month, and we're going to extend it just a bit. And for today, for 5 minutes of heat, is what we call the end of our podcast. Instead of just saying that we're going to slam down the gavel and say, see you later, we're going to close out with some creative expression. So, Jody, what do we have today for creative expression for 5 minutes of heat?
Well, again, being very busy and getting a new office and movie offers, books, and showing up to a whole bunch of stuff. I actually only wrote one thing this year for National Poetry Month.
Okay.
And then I followed that up 2 hours later, kind of like a Kendrick diss track, with another piece. But we're going to do one today, and then next week I have one in the chamber for
what's up,
an immediate drop. But I don't know if anybody watching the end of the show and catching all that stuff. Yeah, good job on all the lyricism and stuff. But this piece is called Deep Breath, and I guess you will be hearing it for the second time.
Okay.
Because I performed it, at our open mic that we had on the 2nd. So all the people that were there had the pleasure of hearing that. And the blip piece, which now has a melody or a tune in the middle. As I get ready to stretch my vocal cords, you might get a full album at me if I learn the guitar or something. But anyway, deep breath and intro. I am an open book to those that decide to read. 1,000 words, yes, 1,000 words to those who've only caught a glimpse of me. And a lifetime is a lifetime to those that can say they were part of my story. So let's begin. Peace. Deep breath. So here we are 9 years later. I wanted to change the world, so I did exactly that. I went out and I met people, communicating to them in a form of artistry I never knew I had. Still writing in my journal the traumas of my life that I did not know how to deal with growing up with as a child. Letting my pen bleed deeply through every emotion that life takes me through. Circumventing every single stereotype that was put on me when I did not know the world so well. Approaching the stage to speak my truth and spread every bit of information I've learned in my lifetime on this little oddball I call home for a moment or two. It really is astounding, the power of your pen when you focus on manifesting the things you want to see come true. If only I'd learned the power of my voice when I was struggling, desperate to find answers to the woes of the world, why society is so corrupt, and why nothing sounds better than a poem from a broken-hearted, love-struck person who is learning to find themselves. That is where the mastery comes in. And yes, I talk to myself all the time, because who better than you to know than you? Who better than the person on the other side of the mirror you haven't talked to in a while, in a society that's kept you starved and malnourished, desperate to find substance or some semblance of life that is nourishing and not watered down by the mass media trolls that try to take every bit of light from you. So here I am, writing in my journal, loving on myself more every day and teaching others everything you need is inside of you. Peace.
All right, and as always, we snap our fingers. Jody, this is our first podcast where we're celebrating the 4-year anniversary of May Day, which is May 30th, 2020.
Coming up.
That's right. That's right. So every week we'll pull a May Day memory from the Toledo Police Accountability Rally. Next week, hopefully, we're going to have another author in. We met him. I met him a couple of weeks ago, and I'm not going to give it away right now. And also, we should have Julian back.
Okay.
We worked through some technical equipment issues. All right.
And I did share that author friend of mine. His book that came out is called The Leak. So you can see that on our page if you go to our Facebook, and it'll send you the invite to his book signing.
All right, that's what's up. Hey, Jody. Hey, listen, we're about to get out of here, but as we always say, all lives can't matter until what?
Black lives matter.
And Black lives can't matter until
all Black lives matter.
Justice or else?
Yeah.
Peace.